Alright guys, and welcome back to Armoured Warfare, and today we are taking out our first Tier 10 vehicle, the T-14 Armata. Unless you live under a Dwayne Johnson, you would know that 0.15 has come out on Tuesday, and since I'm stupidly busy, I haven't been able to make a video yet. But this will be the first one on the Tier 10s, and I can safely say to start with, I'm terrible at high tier. With no clan wars, there's a lot of people who play very competitively at high tier, and I'm not a competitive player, and that really does show when it comes to the high tier. So this is I wouldn't say it's a bad game, because I don't do terribly, but it's not like one of those great games that I seem to pull out of my ass sometimes. But it's enough to show the T-14 Armata. So this vehicle is the Tier 10 Russian vehicle. It can be equipped with a 125mm gun or a 152mm gun. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, like, wow, the 152, everyone must get that. But this vehicle, okay, this is the E-100 of the game. You can have the 128 gun, which is the 125, or you can get the 150, which is the 152 on the Armata. Now, what's the difference between them? Well, if you play the E-100, you will know what the difference between them is. The 125 is faster firing, it's more accurate, aims faster, but suffers from a lack of penetration. Well, I wouldn't say a lack of, but it has less penetration and less damage compared to the 152. 152, as you can see here, the aiming time is so slow, and the minimum accuracy, look at that. It's utterly dreadful. Trying to shoot at another tier 10 at any form of range with the 152 is near enough impossible. It's so inaccurate. Now, you can probably put the minimum accuracy bonuses on from your gunner and the chrome barrel linings to reduce the effect, or, well, increase the accuracy, should I say, of the main gun. But still, it's horrifically inaccurate, and the armour of the Armata is very good. So using a 152 against another Armata is it's debatable whether you want to do that. The Armata has, I think, about 800mm of effective front hull armour, and I think it's 1100mm of turret armour. The numbers are mind-boggling for the amount of armour these vehicles have. And I can't hit these vehicles at all. And I'm just firing across the runway. Look at the mini-map for how far I'm actually shooting. If I'm where our friendly PLO-1 is, shooting across the ridge, I'd never be able to hit them. And actually, the penetration of the gun is not that great. I think it's about 700mm, with the gun doing on average about 900 or something. So it's very powerful when it hits. I can say the AP rounds are only good against... Well, even tier 9s this thing will struggle with penetrating, because the armour in this game needs, I'd say, a bit of an overhaul. Because tier 10s can't penetrate tier 9s. And even like the Ariete, for instance, can still take a few Armata rounds. The armour needs to be reworked for the balancing of the tiers. So higher tiers can penetrate lower tiers easier, and you know what I'm saying, basically. But yeah, back to the Armata. So what else is it? Well, it's quite decently mobile, should I say. It's got good side armour, and it's got very, very good frontal armour. Very effective frontal armour at that. But its mobility isn't terrible, but I haven't really played the other tier 10s to make enough. I've played the Challenger 2 DT... DU... The Challenger 2 tier 10 thing then, and we'll go with that name. But yeah, that thing's not very mobile, and it's not very well armoured, actually. The Armata is way better armoured than the Challenger 2 is. And, well, I prefer the Armata over the Challenger 2 any day. It even fires faster with the 152 than the 140. Oh, look at that. PLO-1, 845 damage with an AP round through the side. Aim up again, wiggle side to side, but he dies before we can. The traverse speeds on the Armata are very good as well. It's got a very nice turret traverse. Very good hull traverse, and the gun depression is not bad. I think it's 6 degrees off the top of my head, which is not terrible, but it's not as good as it could be at a tier 10. About 10 degrees is usually where you want to go. But look at this shot. Straight through the engine deck, critical hit, 1062 damage. Holy guacamole, that's powerful. But the PLO-1 penetrates me with a heat round through the front of an Armata, and that really confused me. I couldn't actually see a penetration mark on this vehicle. I was like, what? And he can't have penetrated the big, like, screen optics thing on the front of the turret in its own little box, because I've shot that with an Armata, into another Armata with a 152mm gun, and I've only done 100 damage. It's a weak spot, but it's not a weak spot. You can damage the Armata through that spot, but you can't properly damage it through that spot. And, well, the game is basically finished. I only did 2,305 damage. Didn't really take many hits. Didn't really do very much at all. But this was like my third game in the Armata. The other two games were worse. I basically drove to a flank. There was about me and two other guys on one flank. I think it was on Coastal Threat. Up on the top of the map. Me and two other guys. 7 enemies rushed over. 6 of them being Armatas. And we got completely destroyed. And that's... I don't really want to show you that sort of gameplay. But I wanted to show you this. Now, there is one guy on my team. I can't pronounce his name. If you're on the forum a lot, you'll probably see him around Kapoko or something. We'll call him Kapoko. Coconut for now will do. But he does amazing in damage. And he really shows how the Armata... what it can do in these sort of matches when played by a good player. I've never seen this much damage done in a PvP game ever. Full stop. And I don't actually think it will be beaten for a very long time. So I did 2,305, 1,800 spotting damage, and look at him. Kapoko, 11,500 damage with 7,000 base reputation. I was like, oh my god, when I saw that. And then there's me chilling at the bottom like, yeah, 10 shots fired, 6 hits. Ha! How'd you feel? 2,305 damage, 1,800 spotting damage. So guys... thank you for watching this tier 10 gameplay of the T14 Armata, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.